Hey everybody! Welcome to another Hoodzpah live stream. I'm your host, Amy Hood, one half of the founding duo of Hoodzpah, and we've got B in the chat over there. She'll be manning the boards, sending links, making sure everyone's memes and GIFs get accounted for. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if everything's looking good. We've got Clement in the chat. What's up? Did you watch the NBA playoffs final game, Game 5? Game 4 felt more like the final game. It was like roller coaster ride. Game 5 was like such a blowout that it was kind of like, it was just like so mellow. I liked it though. It was funny. It was Kuz and J.R. Smith arguing at the end about who had their shirt off first. That was pretty hilarious. Back in my day, back in my Lakers watching days, it was always Anton Jameson who was the first shirtless interview in the in the locker room. Jen knows what's up. We'd always wait for those. But yeah, we got Stephen Overturf in here. We've got Hey from Palm Springs, and we've got our boy Clement. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We're going to finish up our We Not Me lettering today. And if you remember, we worked on that last time, and let me show you what that looked like. Let's see over here. If I can switch my screen. This is what that kind of looked like. We had this like We Chrome, which I already kind of finished up that E. And then we've got this like more cracked looking me going on at the bottom. And it was so funny. Everybody was like telling me I should use the shape tool. And I heard you and I listened, and I couldn't quite figure it out in the moment, but I sure as heck Googled it after, and wow, that would have saved me so much time. So I'm definitely going to be using that this time. That was like a super, super handy tip. So thank you all for that. What's up? Okay, we've got more people in the chat. All right. Yarn L, where are you tuning in from? Scribble Pie. I just want to know the meaning behind all of your handles. Can you please tell me? Scribble Pie. What does it mean? Are you a Great British Bake Off fan? I am too. Ben Conley, what's up? Ooh, from Belfast. I've always wanted to go to Ireland. And Ben J. Conley, what's up? We are here in sunny Southern California. It's like 90 degrees, but it's nice and cool in our little office right here. But I keep wondering, I'm like, when's it going to get cool? Are we just going to be drinking like hot, thick eggnog in November in 90-degree heat? I hope not, but you never know. We've also got Rebecca in from New Orleans. Ooh, we went to New Orleans a couple years ago for Crop Conference, back when it was back in New Orleans. I think now it's in Baton Rouge. No, it was always in Baton Rouge, but Matt Dawson puts that one on. It was so fun. I'd never been to New Orleans before. I did not get any voodoo spells made on any exes. All my exes are fine. But it was really fun. Yeah. Ooh, Clements from Vancouver. We've got Paul Grenice from Philly. Philly! Do you have the typical Philly accent? I have family in Maryland, and they say their pronunciations are so interesting. Like they say, instead of boat, it's boat or something like that. I've never figured it out, but I love the Maryland Chesapeake Bay accent. It's my fave. Ooh, Caleb Moss from Detroit. Jason Weeks says he missed SoCal. Yes, it's a lovely place. Eugene, Oregon, got Evan Green in the house. Thank you all for tuning in. I heard that right now there's a Apple event going on, so y'all are the true fans. Okay, so yeah, this is the text that we're working on right now. You all probably remember it from yesterday, but I also started doing some texture effect tests in Photoshop. I downloaded some of the Kyle T. Webster's brushes and stuff, so I think we'll mess around in there a little bit too and just see what we can come up with. To be honest, I'm not like super adept at Photoshop. I'm not like used to doing all like the texture stuff, but I want to be better. So I figure what better way than to shame myself live on camera with you all, just like I did last time, and figure it out on the fly. So I did kind of mess around with a little bit on my other computer, but that's like my big desktop, and I have a Wacom tablet, and it like reflects the pressure of your pen, which is really nice. So let's see how it works when we're just on like a plain old desktop or a plain old MacBook Pro laptop, and we'll see if we can get like kind of the same effect going. So hopefully it looks good. We'll see. This is just for fun anyway. I think it's really important to just make things just for fun, just for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my design screen, and here's where we're at. So let's use that shape builder tool that everyone was talking about because it was great. And basically the shape builder tool is over here. It looks like this. It's got these two little bubbles with the white arrow. And all you have to do is make sure that all of your lines that you have are touching, all of them, and then you can just select them all. So like if I want my little break to go down further, if I want it to go kind of like down here, I want this little end to break off. I'm just going to keep going along here. And actually, I think I only need to go to there. And then I need to make this end so that this breaks off. Just going to I like to just kind of go crazy with my pen tool, because the pencil tool is kind of a little bit crappy. It's not very, the handling is not tight if we were talking in car terms. Okay, so now I'm going to just draw a rectangle around these shapes that I want to select together. I'm going to grab my shape builder tool. I don't know the shortcuts yet, so bear with me, but also I don't want to select that. So I'm going to deselect that, and then I'm going to go back to my shape tool, and I'm just going to start clicking stuff. So I'm going to click that and that and that and that and that, and that should be it. And I didn't actually need this one. Let's see if we can find it. So let's start filling these in so that we can actually grab them. So we need this one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's see. Yep, that got them all. Okay, so I'm going to fill those all in with my gray that I'm working with. I think they're all mostly outlined in black, so I'm going to outline them in my ecru, like off-white that we've got going. I think I'll even just go ahead and eyedropper from my M so that it's the same strokes and everything. Consistency is key. And you can see now that looks kind of broken off, but I need to keep this background white area. See how this really shows that this piece is broken off? I need to keep that. So what I'm going to do is I have got my group selected. I'm going to group it. I'm going to go Command C to copy, and I'm going to go Command F to paste in place. And I'm just going to move this little piece down and off to the side. He's going to be broken off. But this one, I'm going to fill it with white. And voila, you can see that kind of makes it look broken. And I think I'll just maybe even move this off to the side or something. Yeah. Welcome, Valder. Where are you tuning in from? Valder Leonardo Scarbosa. That sounds exciting. You sound like an exciting person. Okay. You sound like maybe like a Bond villain? I don't know. Tell me your life story. Let's hear it. Also, Scribble Pie wrote back. She's explained her handle. I'm dying to know. It's the name of my portfolio site back in college. Scribble is a fun word for my art, of course. So my portfolio was like sharing my art with a friend, like sharing a piece of pie. I love that. That's great. And it stuck for 10 years. Ah, that's great. Love that. I love a personal anecdote. That's so nice. Okay, so this is kind of looking cool. So if we double click out and we kind of see where we're going, this is looking a lot more like broken text, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to be very clear that the me is not the good thing. The we is the good thing. So I think this is accomplishing that. So, and in fact, we could do those with a black fill potentially, but I think for now we'll just keep going. And maybe we'll also need to create this fill. So let me select these right quick and make one more shape with my shape builder tool. I hope I can't get them both, but I'll just do this for now and we'll pathfinder them together. Okay, so pathfinder those together that we just made, and I'm going to fill that white to kind of keep with what we've got going. And I don't need that anymore. Yeah, ooh, that's jagged. Jagged and good. Okay, so this back here, I also don't need that anymore. Don't think. I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to start on this now corner, my shape builder tool. I'm just going to shift select all these different lines. And then I'm going to go to my shape builder tool. And if you just hover over, it shows you, okay, we'll make this into a shape, we'll make this into a shape, we'll make this into a shape, and that's perfect. That's what I want. So I'm going to shift select these three. Okay, group those. Eyedropper them from my M to get the same, strokes and effects. Then I'm going to go Command paste in place, Command C, Command F. Move that one off to the side wherever he looks like he just fell off, and fill this background one with white. And I think I'm going to move that even further down. Yeah. And I don't want it to be illegible, so that's another thing. So we're going to have to be careful how crazy we go with this offset. So maybe that's better. And maybe this goes up a bit too. Oh, and I'm just realizing this would actually go down. There's some things I do need to tweak a bit. So if that was broken, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just go like this and adjust some of those. I think I can just delete that one. Yeah. And bring this one all the way down. And I've got my smart guides turned on. I find those to be really helpful. Sometimes they get in the way, but for the most part, I find them to be super helpful. So yeah, let's just kind of move that offset. Oh, weird. So that's not, oh, this needs to stop up here instead of down there if it's broken, you know what I mean? And same over here. Okay, I'm realizing that same over here. So we're gonna delete that arrow. We're making up on the fly. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's looking good. All right, so that looks nice and broken. I think I might move in this piece a bit so it's not as distracting. We can always kind of shuffle it around a bit, but I do want to make sure it's pretty dang close because, you know, once we start putting our texture in Photoshop, I do not want to have to go back and change anything. I want it to be fairly like done once we're in Photoshop, because once you get the texture in there, it's just really hard. It's really hard to make like structural changes. So let's make sure we've got it pretty dang close. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to, I think I might add a few of these cracks as well. Maybe like, I think I can do this one with the pen tool. Let's see if we can just kind of do this. Oh, Alyssa Hornby in the chat. Alyssa was one of our, gosh, were you an intern, Alyssa? She was an intern and she also just worked for us as a junior designer when we were so young. It was me, Alyssa, Arturo, the faithful, and Julie McBoyce, who moved to San Francisco and is still living there and knitting amazing sweaters with her beautiful family. But those were the good old days when everybody would come into our office in Newport right on the beach. We were like a block from the bay and a block from the beach, and it was the best. We'd take lunches at the Fun Zone. We'd eat Balboa bars for lunch. It was incredible. And if you don't know what a Balboa bar is, just watch Arrested Development. The Money's in the Banana Stand. It's like that, but it's like an ice cream bar coated with sprinkles or nuts or whatever your topping of choice might be. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to make some more shapes with my shape builder tool. And I wonder if there's a way. Oh yeah, you can do like this. Oh, okay. Yep, learning it. Love it. Okay, then I just need this one. I don't think that's gonna work, so I'm just gonna hold off on that one. I think that's all I need. Oh, I do need this one. Wonder why that one's not selecting. So I'm just going to get all these again. Maybe they're not touching somewhere. Yep, they must not be touching somewhere. I'm just gonna get those up and down a bit. Try this one more time. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, so now it's getting hard to see. I'm just going to select all these and eyedropper them from my one over here and do the same thing we did before. Group them, Command paste in front. I'm going to, I wonder what color I'll do these cracks. Kind of feel like they should be white outline to match what we've already got kind of going on. So I think I'll remove the fill, but take that stroke. And then I like to, if you go up to like your variable width profile, I create my own variable width profiles. Like these crazy ones right here, these are for if I want to make something that looks like it's got, you know, like a brush, like it looks like it was drawn with, you know, a pen or something. But I just made it by, you know, changing the width profile of a straight line and then adding it to this variable width profile. So I have some of those. That's kind of like a cheat for having like a roughen texture if you don't want to use like the roughen effect or go and use any like True Grit texture supply, things like that, if you want to keep it vector. I might just do this for now, which just kind of gives it a nice tapered edge. Yeah. Well, no, I don't like that. Okay, we're going to go back to that. That's kind of cool. I kind of like what's happening here with that. And I might do that to the whole thing. That's pretty freaking cool. All right, so I'm just going to select some of these and I'm going to apply that crazy brush or that crazy line uniformity that I call it ink brush 3. Yeah, let's apply that one. And it just adds a bit of variation. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, let's do it. Bye, Chad Banky. Thanks for hanging with us. All right. And Ben Conley, yes, the variable width profile tool, it is absolute gold. I love it so much. It's a great way to kind of get a texture effect while you're working on a vector illustration without having to go in and do the whole rigmarole of like doing some Photoshop actions until you're like ready, you know? So I think we will go ahead and apply that to almost all of them. And this I need to do a shape builder thingy on. So we're going to create this one and this one. And copy, paste in front, group. It's going to be like that. And this. Actually, we're going to, if I just grab that point with my white selection tool, I can bring this in, and so that it really does look like that corner snapped off. And then I'm going to just Pathfinder these together using my Pathfinder tool. And I'm going to have it adopt this white fill that makes it kind of look like it got snapped off and the plaster is showing. Okay, so this one can, maybe we'll just have him go down here. He's kind of broken off, or maybe it's just broken off together. We don't even need that little nib. Maybe we just delete that all together. And I always get so afraid of deleting things. I'm just going to pull it off to the side because I'm afraid. Okay, so then if we keep breaking stuff off, we've got this one that we were breaking off. And all I have to do is, I think what I'm going to do on this one, well, let's just start. If I hit my negative key, it brings me to my shortcut of my pen tool, and it'll shortcut it to removing points. And so I'm just going to move all that in, and I'm going to drag this in to be in line with this one, which I don't know if it is. So I'm going to use my align tools. There we go. And I'm just going to see how that looks. I'll Pathfinder that together for now. Delete that anchor point, pull this one all the way down to meet the rest, and fill that with white. And I think this also needs to, yeah, go up there. Delete that anchor point, and then I can delete that base E that I had. Cool. All right, we're getting somewhere. I think we need another break on this E base because it's really big. So I think I'm going to, we'll offset this a little bit, and I'll kind of group all that, I think, just to keep it all tidy. Move this little thing in there. And I think I'm going to break off like right here at the end. I'm going to just grab my pen tool, and I just kind of go crazy. Just kind of like go down to here. Maybe it goes like that. And then maybe it would go like, get really nuts down here like that. Okay, I'm going to remove that fill. And yeah, would that be cool, or does it need to, I think I might double click in and just white select these points. And then if you select N for your pencil tool, it gives you a little shortcut to your N. And if you just draw on top with your pencil onto a path you already made, it'll let you like re-guide that path, which is kind of cool. So I'm just adding a bit of wobble there. So that it looks real. Ooh, and maybe I add another one here. Maybe it's like splitting the stone, you know, like it's a double split. So I'm going to do that and see how that works. Clement W says he's also afraid of deleting. Yep. I don't like to delete anything until I'm like absolutely sure it's the final product. And then I save as, I make a final copy, and I still keep the one with all the pieces just in case, because I can't tell you how many times I've printed something with the wrong logo or just the wrong, something is showing through, you know, that I didn't want to show through. So it happens to the best of us. I think I'm just gonna, yeah, okay. So I'm going to grab these, shift select everything. I think I've got everything. And oh, I wonder if that's okay that that's grouped. We'll see. Yeah, it's okay. All right, so we're going to select this, this, and this. And I think that's good. And now I'm just going to ungroup all these really quickly to grab what I want. And to get this, this is my first little piece. I will fill it gray, group it, Command, paste in front. This can be over here. And then I'm just going to change the back one to white. Move this little anchor point in, since it's now cut off there. Okay. And then, yeah. Oh, and then maybe this gets broken off at the bottom too. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll just do it. I'll just do it and then you tell me what you think. Okay, so remove that fill. Just shift select these two. Grab my shape builder tool, which is my new favorite tool. And just going to remove that one. So like this just fell off and the bottom is somewhere. We don't know. It disintegrated into a million tiny pieces. You know what I mean? Too much? I don't know. What's up, Sam? You missed the last one? That's okay. Guess what? They live forever on our YouTube channel. So you can go check them out. I sometimes rewatch them back just to grow as a human. It's like watching game footage. Am I the Lakers? No. But am I watching it to better myself? Yes. And it's hard. It's hard to watch sometimes. There's a lot of likes. There's a lot of futzing around. There's a lot of laughing very loudly into the mic. But it still might be fun to rewatch. I think part of the most fun of these live streams is just getting to hang in the chat. That's my favorite part. That's why I go and hang out in the Adobe live chats, because it's so fun. Okay, so what are we thinking about this? How do we feel? Leanne Ingram, give me some feedback. I need some help. Is this okay? Do we like it this jaggedy at the bottom? It fell all the way down like that? Or is that too much? And if so, maybe some of these other ones also need to go out a little bit further. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think. Leon Ingram just bought a beautiful new car. Leon works at Disney. He's a designer. And he also does live streams. He redesigned the state flag for every state on, I think it was on Behance Live. They have a streaming thing. And turned out really cool. It's so interesting watching other people's live streams because I always learn so much. You think quite a bit when you've been doing this, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But dang, there's always something to learn. It's crazy. Oh, you know what? Maybe if we cant this a bit, it fell and now it's on a canter. I don't know. I need a little help. I need a little feedback. And then this was supposed to split again. Okay, so let's say, do we still have this piece? Oh, it made it. Okay, so I need to copy that in front so I can make a new one. And maybe it's just over here kind of thing. Is that weird? And it needs to go in the front. And that needs a fill. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I think that's good. And maybe, yeah. That's cool. That's interesting. Okay. Evan Green says, yes, crooked look. Thank you. Okay, I needed some feedback. This is great. Okay, so maybe we even do that on one of these other ones, but I'm not sure which one right now. So we'll just do this for now. And I think since this one's kind of really off-centered, maybe we do another little, a littler one, maybe right here. And I don't want it to go as a plus sign. I just want it to I'll just kind of wing it. Like that. Actually, I'm going to move this up. Zoom way in. And just redraw that because that was horrible. I'm using my trackpad right now just because sometimes my wrist hurts from my mouse. So I have to switch off trackpad, mouse, Wacom pen. Okay, so I'm going to shift select all these. Get that shape builder tool again. And get one of each of these. And see what we can do here. So, oh, that's the other thing. Copy that, paste in front, move it off to the side a bit, and fill that with white. And then I'm going to Pathfinder those together, and I'm just going to delete that point, and then it looks like it really broke off the edge. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of cool, I think. And maybe this kind of goes even further out so that we can really see some of that white down there. Okay, cool. And I don't know about these. I think I'm kind of second I'm moving away from these crack lines. I'm unsure how I feel about those. I don't know if I like them or not. Maybe it adds a little bit too much. There's already a lot going on. Maybe that's just one extra thing that we don't need. So I'm thinking I might just ditch those. And then I do have to figure out what I want to do. What I was realizing was when I was testing my Photoshop textures, I want to make sure I go into Photoshop with flat colors because I'm going to be adding the texture as the gradient. So I don't need a gradient. The texture is the gradient. So I need to do flat colors in here, but I kind of need to figure out, okay, which flat colors are the best to start with. And I'm thinking gray is. So I'm going to change all these to gray. I'm going to add the black in Photoshop, and we'll see how it goes. And we'll hope for the best. Life is a big guessing game. And I don't want to use this white fill anywhere where I'm trying to add texture to a different section, because this is going to help me keep my sections separate so that I can select them easily with the magic wand tool in Photoshop, if that makes any sense. So select all this. This needs to go way down if that was really in there. Okay, there's that. Okay, cool. I think that's looking good. So I think I am ready to jump into Photoshop and just see what happens. So let's see, let's jump in there. And actually, I think I want this to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to hold down I'm going to get my little like lasso tool, and I'm just going to lasso this top point. And oh no, I hate that when it goes to the artboard. That makes me crazy. Go down here, get my lasso tool, hold shift down to also get that one, and I'm just going to bump all those up. And I think I'm going to also add in this. So I'll shift hold to get this new one. Oh, don't want that though. And yeah, I want those to be a little bit higher, I think. Oh gosh, I hate that. Why does it have to do that to me? Yeah, this just needs to be a bit more white down here. I think there's a lot of white in the other sections, and I just want it to feel balanced. Okay, but that background thing, that was not supposed to move. This is my life. You know what I'll do? I'm going to double click in here and make sure everything's good there. Just get that back down to even. Okay, cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is export this as, I think, a TIFF, super big, super high res, because I want to make sure that if I spend all this time making this texture and it turns out perfectly, I can blow it up to whatever size I want. And right now I'm only planning on potentially printing these as like 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11, something like that, if I print them at all. This might just be a fun exercise, and that's okay. But I want to make sure that it's big enough to where it can print high res and I don't have any issues. Or if I like potentially want to go up to like 11 by 17 or something, I can do that. So I'm just going to go File, and I'm going to go, oh, you know what I could do? Well, I might do that. Or should I? I think I will. I'm just going to do it the way that I think is best right now. I might go back later, but we're going to go save as. No, we're going to go export, file, export as, and then I'm going to export it as a TIFF. And we're going to say it's _2 right now, and I'm going to say _texture so I know what this is. Okay, CMYK, 300 DPI, type optimized. That looks good to me. We'll go art optimized, and then go okay. And then I'm going to open up Photoshop. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back to my screen. And if I go to my Finder window, and you can see I've got my texture TIFF syncing right now. Oh, rookie mistake. I accidentally saved the whole board. This is probably the largest file ever, so I'm just going to Command delete that and export that again with artboards selected. We're only human. I think that's how that song goes. Okay, so TIFF, and do that again. Texture, Use artboards, export. Okay, that's good. Oh, Paul Hutchinson is in the chat. What's up? He says he wants a solar flare. Solar flare is so 2005, and I just don't know. I like our sparkles though. I really like an 80s Koreatown photo booth, glamour photo booth sparkle. That's what I like. Dara Dunice says Texture Tiff is officially my drag name. Oh my gosh, please do it. Please do it. Please go on RuPaul's Drag Race. I need to see it. Okay, thought I clicked. Okay. All right, so we're going to open up Photoshop and we're going to open that file. So I'm going to go to my Finder and I'm going to find that file that I just saved, which, where did I save it? I thought I saved it as 2. Is this, that's not it? Oh no, this is so. Okay, I'm going to have to save it again because I have no idea what I've done with it. Oh, here it is. Wait, is this it? Oh my gosh, this is humiliating. I clearly can't talk and stream and do things. So export as, let's try this again. TIFF, use artboards, lettering 2, and texture. Okay, replace. Oh my gosh, it's in there. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to open this in Photoshop. Okay, Moni says karaoke streams next time. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Okay, I'll tell you my go-to karaoke songs right now. My go-to karaoke number 1 has to be Wynonna Judd, Why Not Me? I'm from Kentucky. I have to do it. It's the Judds. It's what you have to do. I love her voice. I love 90s country in general. It's so good. Talk about the golden era. No, it's not the golden era. George Jones era is the golden era of country in my humble opinion. Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. I mean, that's what I want to hear. Dolly. There's also a new documentary from Dolly. Okay, so we're in Photoshop. I've got this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer over here in my layers panel. Just going to go +, add a layer, and I'm going to call this white texture. And then I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to call that black texture. Okay. And then I'm going to open up my brushes over here. I've got all of these. Oh, do I have them? Oh my goodness, I don't have them. This is a nightmare. Okay. Let's see. Kyle T. Webster. I think, you know what I'll do? I might try some of these. We'll just see. Or maybe, gosh, I'm just not sure if that's going to work. Oh, here they are. Thank goodness. Here are my Kyle T. Webster brushes, or at least some of them. So these aren't the ones that I initially thought I was going to do, but let's just test them and see what we think. So, of course, I tested this all out on my other desktop that has all of my other brushes. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this magic wand tool, which is shortcut for that is W. And I'm going to make sure I'm on my layer with my TIFF on it. And I'm just going to start highlighting these gray areas. Oop, I'm going to deselect that. I want to make sure contiguous is checked. And when that's checked, that makes sure that it just selects, the color that's touching all other colors. Like it won't select that color in the whole design, just the color where it ends and meets other colors. And so I've got that selected. I think actually I'll select some of these other, no, I'll just select this one for now because I want to be able to have control. So I've got that selected. I'm going to now move to my white texture layer. I'm just going to eyedropper this accrue color that I've got going. And I'm just going to start kind of testing out, okay, that's not right. That does not look like a highlight. That just looks like I spilled some paint. So not that. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe some, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of an interesting sheen going on there. Maybe we try some of this like halftone thing. Maybe it's kind of like this, That could be kind of cool actually. And then this could go a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? To be honest, I'm not super feeling it, but I don't hate it. So that's something. Okay, let's try to turn on some of these other things. Let's see. Let's go back to our brushes and let's try some of these dry media ones. And I'm just gonna make sure I get rid of what I just did with that. I'm going to look at some of this. Yeah, let's try one of these. Pastel Palooza. That could be cool. I'm also going to turn on these and just see if there's anything interesting in here. I'm going to try this one for now. Oh, that's cool. It's not exactly what I planned to do, but maybe we can make it work. So let's just go like this for now. Like say that our light is still coming from the upper left-hand corner. And I'm just kind of making little strokes and I can fill it in a bit heavier there. And then I wonder if maybe I just go the flow down to, what if we do just 20? What does that do? And then we just kind of like create like our own little gradient, if you will. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how it works. Let's keep going. And then there was this like blend brush that was really cool. And I wonder if I can find it. Here's one of these smudge brushes. Let's see. This is Scratch Blend. Let's try that. Oh, okay. I think that's it. And we're just going to take it down to, I think, more like 100. And I'm just going to go in from, I guess, maybe the top. I wish it wouldn't. There we go. I want to make sure it doesn't pull in the black. So I'm guessing I just have to stay completely off the black. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll go down with my left bracket. And that's how you have your shortcut to go down. I'm just going to go down a bit more. I really don't want that black in there. And I don't know why I keep selecting it. But Photoshop and me, we're getting to know each other. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just going to keep working that area. I really don't want that to have any of that on there. So I'm just going to kind of color that back in. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I'm liking this. I think it's working, is what I think. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that a little bit. I'm going to get my blender again. Was this the blender that I liked, or was it this one? I think it was this Scratch one. Yeah, but it's way too high. I'm just going to actually make a new brush out of that. Blender, Amy, we'll call it that. And that's my new one. So always go the right size. And then maybe it has something to do, oh, is that, I wonder if it has something to do with this in the background. I'm just gonna select that. Oh, I'm painting in the wrong layer. Oh no. Guys, no one told me. Okay. So we're just gonna go all the way back. This history tool is the best. We're just gonna go back. Magic wand tool. Go back to white texture. Ay. I told you I was new. Okay, and then we're gonna get our, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close that wet brush thing because I got my blender Amy, and I'm going to just copy his, I think it's this one that I've been using. Let's see if it is. And let's make sure I've got my accrue turned on. Get that out of the way. I'll just eyedropper that real quick. And is that the right one? That's the right one. Okay, so we're gonna go up to 50. And yeah, that's good. Okay, and I'm going to make a new brush preset with this and call it Amy Charcoal. Capture brush size. Yes, I want that checked. And now I'm going to make my own new folder so that I know how to find stuff. Amy's brushes. Amy's knockoff brushes. Now, Kyle made them. They're awesome. I'm just giving myself some quick access by copying them and putting them in a new folder. Okay, so there's that. So now I've got that one in there, and here's my charcoal. Okay, cool. So that should be easier. All right, now that we're on the right layer, I'm just going to keep drawing here, and I like it to look messy, so I'm just going to try to keep it super loose. And in fact, yeah, let's do that. And then I'll just grab my blender brush. Actually, it was better the second time. It's a good thing we messed it up. Yeah, look at that. Y'all, I think that looks good. Looks really good. Kelly Freitas is here. Okay, Kelly is one half of the East Coast design twin duo. When we met them, I was just like, what? They are so cute. They both look like Lucy Hale. They're friggin' adorable and very talented and just so sweet. They got all of the gifts. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to go back to my We Not Me lettering. I'm going to hit the W key command. I'm going to select a new area, and I'm using, in my selection, I'm using just like, what is this, new select? If you hover over it, what is it called? Yeah, new selection. And I'm just going to select that, go back in here, select my charcoal brush. If the light's coming in from the top left, I guess it would kind of maybe sheen a bit here, I think. So I'm going to do that a little bit. And I'm going to grab my blender and just kind of blend that in from the gray. Yeah. Woohoo! Okay, looking good. Okay, now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to select my, and actually, maybe I'll just leave the black alone totally. Oh, that's going to select the whole thing. That's so annoying. But you know what? We'll make it work. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my black texture layer, which I might change to gray. We'll see how it goes. And I'm just going to eyedropper this background color, which is not quite fully black. It's kind of like a gray black. And I'm just going to draw, yeah, I want it to be gray. Eyedropper that gray. I'm just going to draw some of this so I can get like a gradient going. Okay, yeah. Make sure that's nice and filled. And get my blender. Whoa, too much. I'm actually going to go in from the white because that's like the strongest color that I want. And just kind of, actually, I'll just do it down. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, like that. Cool. Yeah, I think that's looking good. So I'm just going to kind of keep doing that. So I'm just going to rename this gray or silver texture. Okay. Chris Butner said he just picked up our Freelance book and he loves it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That is like my Mona Lisa. It's my life's work. I'm very proud of it. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Okay, so let's get our gray selected. And let's just keep going. I'm just going to add some in here. Little lines. It's okay if it's not perfect. It's more interesting if it isn't. Okay, cool. And get my blender tool. And if I go, I'm realizing if I go down from the top, it's like super, super smooth. Okay, so, and then I think maybe I'll even do that. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need the whole, should I do it from the bottom too? No, too much. But I might use the eraser with that charcoal brush selected and just try to clean up that line a bit. Thought we were on eraser. And if you hold shift down, it'll create like a perfect line for you. It'll just whoop. So I'm just gonna hold shift down and create some clean edges there. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And now I'm gonna go down into some of this gray again. I'm gonna go Command D to deselect and select this one and add a little bit of white. So I'm gonna go to my white texture layer. Got my charcoal selected, get my accrue on my paintbrush. And your key commands are like such a time saver. And in fact, I'm using right bracket to make my paintbrush bigger. I use B as my shortcut key command to get my brush open. It seriously saves so much time. It's crazy. And maybe that would be a little bit too far down if you think about light, how it would come in. I always wished I took more like live drawing classes when I was in community college, because I wish I understood just like lighting and the human form and why things move and bend at different places the way that they do, because I think it would come in really handy. Yeah, Dolly Parton has a new documentary out, but I always find it very highly suspicious when someone does their own life story documentary, kind of like how Elton John did Rocketman. It's like, if you're involved, you're probably not going to give the most honest story. You know, it's kind of like that Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, where Brian May, wait, is that his name? Brian May? James May? No, James May is the one from Top Gear. Anyway, Brian May, the guitarist, the one with the amazing 80s, like Jerry Curl. He just like portrayed himself as a bit of a saint. It was a bit strange, I thought. I'm sure he is a gem of a human, but he was like Mother Teresa in that thing. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to select, I think, this top E. I think there would be a shine in there. I go to my white texture area. Do a bit of that here probably. And it would be pretty full, I think. Yeah. I might even fill this whole thing and then do like maybe select this area and blend it down instead. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Cool. I was surprised at Rocketman though. I didn't know that Elton John was like such a drug addict, I guess. Like I grew up knowing him from stuff like the 80s Elton John, which was like soft rock hit golds, you know? So, what's up, Kali? Oh my gosh. One of my favorite Twitter follows is Kali. He always posts cool stuff. But yeah, Trevor Gerard said that Rocketman was entertaining, but definitely paints Elton in a pretty skewed light. I think so too. I think you should not be allowed to do your own biopic, right? It's just like people who write their own dating profile bios. I don't think you should be allowed to do that. I think you have to have somebody else do it. Your sister, a previous flame, but you're not going to be honest. I hate drama. If you say I hate drama, that means you love drama. Usually whatever someone says, it's the opposite. Do I sound jaded? I feel like I'm coming off as jaded, but we all know it's true. I try to keep my bios real simple. I like George Jones. That's pretty much it. I think that's all it says. Okay, I'm gonna get this blender tool. Cool. I'm liking this. I do think I need to do a blend to, well, I don't know. Let's see. Me and my friend, Trevor, you know Lindsay Bro, us and our friend Lindsay Bro, we were thinking back in the heyday of our 20s, we were thinking it'd be hilarious to have a podcast called Just My Type. But the premise was you weren't allowed to go on dates with anyone who is traditionally your type as a guy. You're only allowed to date people who are outside of what you think you want because you don't know what you want. You should let yourself be surprised by people. People are interesting. And so, but we were like, we would never get another date in this town ever again if we were doing live podcast recaps of our dates with people. So we scrapped that idea. And we decided let's just hang out and be friends and not add another podcast to the world. That one thing I don't understand, why does it keep pulling in this black? Where is that coming from? I wish it would stop doing that. Okay, I guess when you zoom in, it fixes it a bit. Okay, cool. All right, so here's where we're at with that. That's looking pretty good. Like if we go to our history panel and go all the way to the top and see where it was before to now, that looks pretty cool. I'm really liking that. I'm definitely feeling a chrome effect and I'm definitely feeling a lot of texture, which I really like. I don't want it to be too clean. And I'll probably still add a bit of a grid effect after this. So I'm really liking this. Jojo Berry says that she was named from Dolly's song, Jolene. Oh, I love that song. That's another really good karaoke song. It's one of my go-to karaokes. It gets really high. Jen does Heart of Glass by Blondie. But now that Miley's done it, I feel like no one can do it now. No one can do it as well as she did, and so why try? It's probably not the right way to look at life, but okay. So let's go into our brush panel, get our smudge brush or our blender brush, and blend that in. That might be, there we go. It's a bit better. There we go. Not sure if that quite did it. I think that needs to go a bit straighter. The thing about these brushes is it's a lot of like undo, redo, undo, redo. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, And I think I might go back up here and rework that because I think the gradient should go all the way to the edge maybe. So I'm going to go to my silver area. And I think what I'll do instead of that, I'm just going to draw myself a quick, with my pen tool, I'm just going to go real quick and just do this because I want it to be a little bit cleaner. So just keep going here. And then I'll just go right click, make selection. Maybe 1 pixel feather is fine. Make sure I'm on my silver texture area. And try this one more time because I do think this should be filled. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I'll just do it a little bit more. Okay, blend that. Okay, cool. There we go. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, okay, cool. It's looking good. Now some of these are a bit different. I think I'll do the same thing over here, just go a little bit further down so it matches the stroke all around. This is why I should have filled everything with gray now that I think about it. And hey, you learn as you go, but just so I could really control the texture and all of the white strokes would be the same. But hey, we're learning. Make selection, and I'll make sure I'm on my silver texture layer. B for brush, just fill that in with that charcoal. And I'll go to probably there, get my blender. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. And I think I'll even go out a little bit further now that we have it. There's that. And that. Okay. Narek, what's up? Yeah, Narek's celebrating Lakers championship win. I heard that there was still riots in the street, even though it's like COVID. I was like, no. But you can't. What is it about a championship that just makes people turn cars over? I don't understand it. But I just remember when last year when they won in Toronto and everybody was just so respectful, and that they interviewed that one guy that was like carrying around a house plant. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. That was hilarious. But Adam Wolf says, thanks for doing these live streams. Love seeing how other people work. Me too. I'm so nosy. Some of the live streams that I watch are Lindsay Stripling. I think she's in the chat actually. Kara Sykes. Lindsay does hers on Instagram Live, and she does like gouache and watercolor. And then Kara does a lot of like Procreate and design, like classic design stuff. She's on behance.live.net/live. But I love seeing how other people work. I always find that I learn a lot by watching other people. Okay, so now I think I might try to add in, like, would it be interesting? Should I add another one of those little ones here? Let's just see. Let's see what it does. It might be too much, but let's give it a go. Because I kind of want it to feel like it's all consistent. It makes sense what we're doing here. I think what I need to do here is just... that is unfortunate that that keeps doing that. I think I'll go even smaller. There we go. Now we're getting it. Okay. Okay. And down here. Okay, now this is where I'm going to try to do something interesting down here. So I did that on the wrong layer. Mother effer. Let's go. Shoot, I wish I hadn't said that. Okay. I'm trying to not be a cursing sailor. Okay, so I'm going to go back, just go deselect. Wait, was it on the right layer? No, it wasn't. Okay. Just go back and we'll go deselect and we'll just redo that one real quick like. Oh, that's not it. That is not it. White texture. Okay. Adam Wolf says language. I know I'm trying really hard, especially because I don't want to offend the children. Okay, so we're going to go back here and we're just going to blender this real quick. Also, you all, speaking of being a child, childhood things, Animaniacs is back. They brought it back. That was one of my go-to shows after school in like second and third grade. Come home, watch Animaniacs. I tried to watch it recently. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. It is so loud. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit loud. But dang, I don't know how my mom put up with it. Okay, so I'm going to select, now that we've got that top chrome, like it's getting somewhere. I kind of want to leave it alone, sleep on it a bit. So I'm just going to leave that there. And I'm going to start working on this bottom grit on this me text. So I want this front area. I'm just like shift selecting all of these like front pieces because they're on the same plane. So they would have a similar gradient effect most likely because the lighting would be similar on these. So I've got all those selected. I'm going to make a new layer because I want to, I think, have a black texture on it. So I'm going to move that to the top. That's my black texture layer. And I'm going to eyedropper my black background. I've got my charcoal brush selected, and I think I'm just going to make it really big. And I'm just going to start sweeping, since I have it all selected at the bottom, across the top. Okay, that doesn't look great now, but I'm going to go over here and go flow down to like 35. Oh, maybe that's too much. And get a little bit lower on here on some of these ones that are a little bit higher. That one's a bit higher. Okay. And then I'm going to use my blender tool. And I'm hoping that kind of, okay, cool, it does. I think I need to get it bigger if I want it to be like, whoop. That's sort of it. I don't know about this one as much as how it's looking. I don't know if I like it as much as I liked it for the chrome, but let's just kind of do it to all of it and just see what we think. Oop, that doesn't look good. And there's that. Yeah, like I want it to be and maybe if I strength down to like 50, maybe if I change the strength of it. Okay, there we go. That looks like it's kind of like allowing me a bit more of a gradient, you know, but then I just don't know if this is really, it's kind of cool though. It's kind of like, you know, the new gradient tool in Illustrator, how you can make gradient points now, which is like, oh, I love it. That's what Jen used for her Lakers illustration. It kind of looks like that, which I actually kind of like. Okay, so I'm just going to see if this can continue doing this for me. Just kind of like futzing around and seeing what happens here. I keep blending this way. Chris Butner says the new Mickey Mouse cartoon looks a lot like Ren and Stimpy. That's so weird. My mom was so liberal, I feel like, with what she let us watch. We could watch The Simpsons, but one show we were not allowed to watch growing up was Ren and Stimpy. She was not having any of their shenanigans. Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's like a good little gradient we've got going on there. And then for the background, I did want these pieces, if we deselect all this, go back to our We Not Me base layer. I wanted this side panels of this to be like pretty dark, but also with some texture. So I'm going to select those. I think that's the main ones that I would be selecting right now. And maybe even this one, these other inside ones. That one, yeah. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay. I might end up just like filling them straight black, but let's give this a go. Just see what it looks like with a little bit. That's too big, I think. I'm just going to go back down to my normal size and kind of take the time. So it'd be really dark back there, I think, where there's like absolutely nothing coming through. Oops, and then I have to be a little bit careful around here. Just going to kind of fill that in. And that's looking pretty cool. Okay. And I like that there's just like something going on, you know, it's just not fully black, which is cool. So I think I'll just kind of keep just like roughly, maybe I'll make that a little bit bigger, roughly filling this in so that it's a little bit different everywhere. Okay. And this last piece here, just kind of like, want it to look like someone just kind of drew it and it wasn't made in this computer program. Okay, cool. Looking good. This is cool. Trevor says he loves the theme. Oh, thank you. I know. I was like, I feel like this would be something cool to just have on your wall to remind you yourself, you know? It's easy to kind of get caught up in your own thing a bit. And it's a good reminder to think about others. Okay, so there's that. If I just deselect real quick, see how that's kind of looking. It's pretty cool. If I don't like it, I can always go back, and I'm honestly not sure. I'm unsure if I hate it or I love it, but let's just keep going for now. Just keep swimming. We started rewatching New Girl last night, and oh my gosh, it's pretty funny. It still holds up. A lot of my friends are rewatching it, and I was like, is that going to still be interesting at all? And it's pretty funny, gotta say. Okay, so there's that. We'll make that really dark down there. It's kind of cool, this graffiti effect. Almost looks like someone's has just like tagged this area. But I think I will just make it a little bit cleaner. Just do some quick swipes to leave some of that texture in there. And then this is like my last little section up here. And actually, there's some like pretty cool, like, I can add even more texture later. Actually, I think I'll fill this in a bit more. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's see what we've got now and let's see where we're going. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. What do we think about this texture? I actually think I kind of don't. I think I'm realizing that because there's no texture up here on the black, I'm thinking I should keep that consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my big hard round brush and I'm just going to fill it all in. Uh-oh, Chris Butner says wrong layer. Dang it. That's okay. That's okay because I actually just want to fill this in. No more texture anymore. So maybe that's okay. Oh my gosh. This is my life. Always on the wrong layer. Okay, well, that's fine because I really just want that all to be black, I think. Okay, so that's, yeah, I think it's better. We leave the black alone. The black has no texture. Only the gray areas and the white areas have the texture. This is my new, and I think it is important when you're designing. Consistency is key, especially if you're doing like illustration or something. You want to make sure that you're using consistent line strokes, consistent color. If there's too much going on and, you know, there's a lot of like one-off situations of how something appears, it's going to look like a mistake instead of a theme, instead of intentional, instead of a pattern. So I always try to do it at least 3 times so it's a pattern, not a mistake. Adam Wolf says happy accident. That's a good way to look at screwing something up. It was a happy accident. We made it work. That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to select my top me lettering, the top plane. So I'm on my We Not Me texture, or base layer. I am basically holding shift and just using my wand to select the top layer, the top plane that's facing up to the sky. So that's going to be the brightest plane. I'm going to make sure I'm on my white texture layer. And I'm going to, oh, I Aspire, what's up? He says a Command Z and redo to a new layer would be such a clutch feature. Oh my gosh, that would be a really clutch feature. Somebody call Adobe. I'll text Andrew Hockrattle later and see what he can do. Okay, so I'm on my white texture layer and I'm going to go back down to my brushes that I created just for this. And I'm going to select my accrue, my eyedropper, and I'm going to get a little bit different, I think. And I'm just going to kind of do like long swashes, I think, for now. And see, and I wonder if I go to opacity, I've never really tried this. I don't know if this is going to do what I think. Nope, it's not what I want. I want 100% opacity. I was just wondering if I could lessen, and I think maybe that's the flow. So I'm just going to see, yeah, that's what I want. I want it to blend a bit smoother. I think that's doing what I want. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like airbrushing like we're in Destin, Florida, and we're getting group teas made. Remember that? Group teas, everybody would get their name in like an airbrushed scene of a beach. We used to go to Destin, Florida every spring, not every spring break, a couple spring breaks because my friend brought me with her family. But that was fun. Okay. There's that. And then I'm going to go down to 05. Let's see if it works like that. Okay, sort of. Not sure. Yeah, I think enough. And then I can use that blend tool a bit. This is all new to me, all this texture stuff. And then maybe like this. Well, I don't know. Let's not get crazy yet. I'm going to get my blender tool. And I'm going to just kind of start futzing around with this. And I'm just kind of clicking and dragging a bit willy-nilly and just kind of hoping for the best. But I do kind of like the splotchy effect. It's kind of interesting, actually. And just kind of getting it to look a bit more like a gradient. I wonder if I can bring it down all the way into there. And it kind of makes a stone. You know what I'm realizing? It does make a stone effect a bit, doesn't it? So that's kind of cool. A happy accident. Maybe this goes down a bit. And I think I am going to get my charcoal brush again and just get this like a good clean fill up here. That I want it to be really white up there where the lighting is really strong. So get that going and then blend a bit more. Okay. We've got Michael Vidrine in the chat. We met him in Oklahoma City when we did a talk there with our AIGA. Michael, what was the shots we all had called? This girl was like, you have to have a Rumpelmans something shot. And it was the grossest thing I've ever had. But apparently it's like an Oklahoma delicacy. That and what was it? Goat shoestring fries, which is goat testicles. And it's fried and battered. And we had that at Cattleman's restaurant. And it was actually pretty good, I gotta say. Okay, so let's see. Let's just zoom out real quick and let's kind of see. Okay, I don't know. Oop, whoa. Okay, don't know what I did there. I think I'm going to go back to my selection. I'm realizing that here, this little area, there's a bit too much. There we go. I want you to be able to see the break still. So essentially, so I'm just going to do that a bit, do that a bit. That's better. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect everything and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to export it. Oh, I forgot. This is a little piece that I forgot. I'm going to just select this one little piece and color him black the way he's meant to be. That's okay that I'm on that layer because he's going to be just plain black, no texture. Okay, there we go. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to sleep on it because there is a point where you can just look at something for too long and you can overdo it with texture or with just trying to rework something that you're just not sure about. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to export this. I'm going to hit Command Save, which I don't think I did yet. And I'm just going to save for web, just like a small JPEG that I can send to a friend. I'm going to call in a friend and I'm going to say, hey, what do you guys think about this? Might send it to Leon. And that's the best thing you can do. Just let it sit. It's kind of like making bread. You've got to let it rise. You've got to let it have its moment to just sit, do its thing, and you got to forget about it. Okay, so we're going to call this texture proof. And maybe I'll just make a new folder of proofs so I know what those are. That's JPEG, save, and I'm going to hit Command S on this. And yeah, I think we got pretty far today, y'all. I think it looks pretty good. I'm happy with where we've gotten. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it sit for a bit. That's what I'm gonna do. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. Oh, I see Tom Roussell's here. What's up, Tom? Tom's one of my friends. He hired me to actually just do design for his what was it? Money management? What do you call it? They make money, make more money. I think that's what it is. In real estate. Things I don't understand anything about. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I think we ended somewhere pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on how everything came out. I'm probably going to go work on some client work, maybe watch that Dolly biography and just see how one-sided I think it is. No matter what, I love Dolly. She can do no wrong in my eyes. And I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. Thanks for tuning in, Trevor, Oscar, everybody. This stream was brought to you by our brand new course. Course. I know. I hate that word. But it is. It's a class. If you went to college, you may have had something called a professional practices class. We made that for people who maybe didn't have the chance to take that course in school, where they teach you all about the business side of design, the business side of creativity. And we basically took everything we learned at LCAD, everything that we used at our class that we taught there, and we put it into a course. And so I'm going to just play a quick ad since today's stream was brought to you by that. All right, you all, we're getting down to it. Pricing. Contracts are your bodyguards. They are the Kevin Costner to your Whitney Houston. Passive income. It's the dream. Project workflow. How do you find your product? This is biz dev, baby. Clients. Do we love them? We want them. What the heck is a retainer? Branding yourself. We're talking about positioning. Setting up your business. So that's our course. If you're interested at all in any of those topics, Jen will link the course in the live stream right here, and I'll make sure to link it in the show notes after we're done. Thanks so much for tuning in. This was a blast. I'm your host, Amy Hood, and I'm wishing you strong Wi-Fi and a full Netflix queue. See you next time.